we want to evaluate the limit as n approaches to infinity of 6n squared minus 5n plus 5 all over 7n squared plus n minus 1. So we're going to use the method of factoring out. So we factor out the variable with the highest power, and in this case we are going to factor out n squared, and if we do so we get to the limit as n approaches to infinity. On the numerator, if we factor out n squared, we get to 6 minus 5 over n plus 5 over n squared all over. Then on the denominator, if we factor out n squared, we get to 7 plus 1 over n minus 1 over n squared. Then we close our bracket. So we can see that this n squared will cancel out. Then we get to the limit as n approaches to infinity of 6 minus 5 over n plus 5 over n squared all over 7 plus 1 over n minus 1 over n squared. So we are going to find the limit for each and every value. So we get to limit as n approaches to infinity of 6 minus the limit as n approaches to infinity of 5 over n plus the limit as n approaches to infinity of 5 over n squared all over the limit as n approaches to infinity of 7 plus the limit as n approaches to infinity of 1 over n minus the limit as n approaches to infinity of 1 over n squared, right? So the limit of a constant remains that constant, so the limit of 6 remains 6. So we have 6 minus, then if we put infinity where there is n, we get to 0. So the limit of 5 over n is 0, and the limit of 5 over n squared is 0 all over the limit of 7 is a constant, so the limit of 7 is 7 plus the limit of 1 over n is 0 minus the limit of 1 over n squared is 0. So we get to 6 minus 0 plus 0 over 6 plus 7 plus 0 minus 0, and 6 minus 0 plus 0 is 6 over 7. Therefore we have the limit as n approaches to infinity of 6n squared minus 5n plus 5 all over 7n squared plus n minus 1 being equal to 6 over 7. So this is the limit of our function. So this is how we evaluate the limits of a single variable. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.